Hey, what's going on, guys? Evan the Xenogears Enthusiast here, still doing gameplay commentaries, just very infrequently until Modern Warfare 3 comes out. This is a quick Dark Souls gameplay commentary here. I was originally going to do like a Let's Play of this game, but I decided against it. So anyway, I'm just going to put up a couple quick boss fights that some of my friends are having trouble with, and just people online seem to struggle with. This is the Asylum demon on your second visit to the Asylum. So, really, this is not as hard as you might expect. Get the Drake sword and two-hand it. It doesn't, as long as you're two-handing it, the strength requirement's tiny. And then just keep standing behind him. A lot of people say you shouldn't lock on. I like to lock on. Sorry about that little swishing sound. I'm shooting a little bit of gum here. Really, he only has two patterns. That little blast there, that's sort of his one-shot kill move. But the big issue with it is, the fire comes behind him, so you should be trying to stay behind him for the length of the entire fight, which makes things a lot easier. Every time he tries to crouch and do it, you can get 3 swings in. The other move he'll do a lot is that little flight thing. He basically, that's just how he repositions himself. So when he does that, back up, walk forward, and take 1 slash, maybe 2. Better to stick with 1 if you're willing to play on the safe side. My big problem with this boss is just he has a lot of life. You just have to hack away. So 1 slash, he goes up, back up, he lands, advance, get behind him, chop, chop, chop. Sort of get the idea behind this. You want to back up more than you think you need to because of the fact that the fire breath is sort of, or whatever that is, the fire blast is kind of unpredictable in that. Depending on where he is, I kind of got lucky there, sitting in front of him too long. It just kind of depends how that attack's going to work. Because, the blast will come wherever he lands it. So if it's on the ground, if he shoots it really close to him on the ground or at a wall that he's pressed up against, it goes really far behind him, a lot further than you'd like. So better to be safe than sorry. If you have to take 2 slashes instead of 3, that's no big deal. The big rule is to stay behind him, because if you're in front of him, he'll do some wild axe swings and stuff that make him a lot more dangerous. So this is really all there is to it. It's one of those fights where the challenge is the fact that there's just a lot of room for error, because he can one-shot you with probably 2 or 3 of his moves, most of them really. If you get hit once, you're going to be so out of position that he's probably going to be able to finish you off. This isn't always the case, but often it is. Another quick tip, don't bother blocking. 9 out of 10 times it's not worth it and just gets you killed. So two-hand, whatever you're using. Try not to use a spear because it swings a little slow. Keep your encumbrance down below 25% of your maximum weight, because it's absolutely critical that you can move at max speed to close in quickly. You can do it at like the 50% mark, but for this fight, armor really won't help you survive a whole lot. Unless you're coming in with like specific armor to tank him, and even then he'll still kill you in 2 hits as opposed to 1, so just stay away from strategies like that and just keep hacking away. I'm kind of playing a little cautiously here because I don't want to start all over on this fight. It'd probably be better served to get a little more aggressive, actually. Reason being is... it's hard to explain. Oh, that's the trick right there, that backstep he'll do. I haven't really figured out exactly what causes him to do it. I think it's when you get out of position, like you're charging at him. Oof! I was on just a little tip of that blast. Like I said, bigger than you want it to be. Sorry, I had to rub my eye. I think I just made my mic scramble. Woo! Been a long time since I've done a commentary, but glad to be putting up a quick 6-minute. Chop, 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 chop. You get the idea. I'll be putting up Dark Souls footage for all the bosses and the Black Knights. I don't really think I'm going to put anything else up. Most of the mini-bosses and sub-bosses are really easy, and there's just no need to put them up. Oh, that's so lucky that didn't hit me. That roll saved me. This fight could have been over a lot quicker if I had been a little more aggressive. Not that I'm necessarily recommending that strategy. I'm just... what can screw you in this fight is when you get yourself in a bad position, or he puts you there. Like, backstep can make you lose an otherwise good run on this guy. Another thing that can screw you is if you're pressed up against walls, or there's no way to circle behind him again. If he puts his back to a wall, you're in trouble. Because the only way to basically lure him out of it is to get distance from him. That's never a good choice, because the minute you give him distance, he'll start swinging the club in a conventional fashion, and that's terrible. Just notice I run between his legs a lot because we're pressed up against that right wall and I can't strafe around that side. I'm tempting fate. I mean, you can run between his legs, but there's inherent risks with doing so, like he might sweep his axe and catch you. When he starts coming down, watch your timing. If you rush him too quick when he's coming towards the ground, he'll fall on you, which doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it stuns you, which lets him just one-shot you with pretty much anything else in the arsenal. So you have plenty of time to circle back behind him when he flies. If you're having trouble with your timing, don't bother trying to get the one free slash in. Just focus on staying behind him. As long as you stay behind him at all times and you don't get greedy, you should be fine, because the fire blast from behind is what really gets it. Anyway, that's sort of the end on this tutorial. Not a lot to recommend for this boss. He has very limited attacks, particularly if you stay behind him. Put my little show-off move there, and alright guys, thanks for watching, and y'all take care. Y'all.